good to see you again. It's wonderful you allowing me to get together with you this afternoon, just you and me talking like this. We share what's in our hearts, what's on our minds in this crazy world we live in. And our world is, it seems like our world is really nuts right now, you know. and But those of us who realize that there's a positive change coming on, you know, I know there's no fear for me, and I'm just so excited that this positive change is happening. We look at everything shaking out here, and you know, there's a lot of dramas going on. The people that are in power, the people that like to control other people, are not happy. Excuse me. We are entering into a new reality where time is different, and the old reality has no relevance at all. And I understand the reluctance of the resistance to change that so many of us have to. You know, I've been, you know, a lot of lifetimes here on this planet, and you know, it's a tough place to be. But you know, sometimes the familiar, you ever been in relationships that the familiar dysfunction is less fearful than dropping the dysfunctional one and trying to go toward a new one. So it's something like that that's happening to our planet, I feel, you know. So and one of the key things that I found where I'm at now is just to be with the new reality, and that's what our Oneness Doorway group does. We talk about you know, what is happening, how to adapt. We talk about the physical changes and the mental changes. Some of them are quite severe. This new reality that's coming in is at an atomic level. It's different. It's a different density. And there's many people who have chosen to evolve. I don't push Ross's book here, but this book, the Oneness book, which is an amazing book about this change. In chapter 14, the subtitle is Bridging Two Worlds in One Lifetime, and it's an amazing book, and it explains what's happening to our reality, and that what we want to do is create a world that is limitless and transparent, and for me, instead of living in a fear-driven world, to live in a faith-inspired world, and where we can co-create with the cosmos, you know. So as we align with these new energies, we become empowered, and we were actually manufactured or constructed to be co-creators, and there are a lot of races that cannot create. We can think independently. So if we're great co-creators, what happened? Well, we've been hijacked. One of the things that for a long time, I was like a spiritual information junkie, you know, and I came across, you got to be careful I was seeking for truth. Well, you better be careful what you find, because after I found this truth of what's happened to humankind, you know, over the millennium of years, I went into a dread situation, and probably a couple of years of dread until I did some spiritual, some more clearing of myself, clearing of resentments, and clearing of fears. About 350. It took me 13 months to do that kind of introspection to myself, but it was well worth it, because my meditations started to becoming a lot more deeper. So, and I'm not at the mercy of circumstances. I was a professional victim for most of my life, you know. So now I try to, think about what is my highest intent? What can I create? What can I serve? What's the highest good of all concerned here? So it's a completely different um, world I live in, from what I was, growing up in this world. You take the hits, let's face it, because the path of evolution has been shrouded, and I mean, why should the path of religion be shrouded and deceptive, So, but anyway, if you're seeking truth, that's what you will find, and um, so I can find out that I'm empowered. I have a direction to go in now, and it's and I can manifest it you know, not down the road somewhere, but I can manifest it, quite. Time keeps continuing to collapse or pick up speed, or however you want to say it, but we keep losing linear time, and time instead of linear is becoming more vertical, if that makes sense. Instead of being a birth-death guy, I'm starting to focus on the eternity of my existence. I know that this lifetime is a small part of a much longer journey. So, life as we know it takes on refined characteristics, and I'm really excited about it. So I don't have to things that are expected by the world, that we should be doing, and you should do this and should do that. It's really pretty, and that includes religions too, and different philosophies. They have that has really kind of gone away, and I try to be a co-creator, not creating with my ego, because that was my problem in life. I was trying to do everything my way. I was fighting for survival all the time. How does that work, right? So I ended up all my scorecards are at 0. So this new way of life seems to be a very rich lifetime. I'm getting off the subject here. So getting back to the reality change, this is happening, and there are a lot of people here that are supporting that. Our group here supports people who are going through these changes. It's already begun to happen. We're kind of like there are a lot of indigos or rainbow children or crystal children or whatever you want to call them here. They're already wired up for this new age. Those of us that have been around for a while, it takes us a while to let go of the old, and I like to imagine myself sometimes in my imagination as like a surfer. I'm riding the wave of this new energy. It's happening at the atomic level, and this ascension thing is not about. For a while there, years ago, 25 years ago, I thought to ascend I'd have to get some kind of space body or something like that. But no, our actual bodies, these bodies that we have here are multi-dimensional, multi-density vehicles. They're amazing vehicles. I've had a couple of 5D hits, fifth dimensional hits, where I've been invisible to other people, and but the reality is completely, it's the same, but it's different. It's like more. The colors are much more. They're like day glow colors, and the water's water, but water doesn't look like water from my 3D perspective. If I'm in a 5D perspective, it looks like flowing energy. Really, really beautiful. So all these things, as we keep quickening and awakening and harmonizing, so we can move into this second density. At least some people, I've talked to people that are going after this lifetime, they want to become 9D beings, and and some people, I've met a number of people that this is going to be their last lifetime on this planet. Um, so there's we want to circumvent some of the pitfalls that are coming with this reality change, and it involves clearing ourselves of old thinking, and especially like karmic stuff, because what we think is going to manifest, and very quickly. I read about that for years, and now everything is going to become like amplified. It's kind of like taking a real good drug, but instead of death and insanity from taking the drug, we're going to be expanded, and we see more, and we see more God's many mansions. I go in the woods now; it looks like a theater of energy, you know, and you see, you know, energy fields around trees and plants and people. It's pretty cool. So many people are struggling right now with circumstances and you know, relationship changes. The population at large, because of a whole bunch of reasons I don't want to go into now, they're going to have collide head on with this reality change, and that's one of the reasons a lot of these groups are forming around the world by certain people who have apparently been coded to awaken to do this. Apparently it was decided, you know, pre-birth, and you just sort of awaken to doing this job, and we have to get rid of any superfluous baggage or negativity that we have, because that will create circumstances that will undermine our ability to raise ourselves up. And you know, the dark teachers. One of the people I know down in Sarasota, Florida, they say that this planet's supposed to be a wonderful planet in 300 years, as it raises in frequency, because the people, the controllers, and the people of low vibration, you know, the warmongers, all them guys, the death technology guys, and all that, they will not be able to accrete enough frequency to be in the new reality. So myself, I want to raise myself up out of the very, very dense polarity that we've been experiencing for thousands of years. And so I thought that this change would be more severe than it is. But somebody told me that the change to our world is happening slowly because of the grids. The grids have been, I don't know the details about it, but the grids have been compromised, so the change is relatively slow. And it's not just, there's an ascending reality and there's a descending reality, and they're coming apart and they're pulling apart. And so you're going to watch it all go down. So it is all about, it's not by a judge up there with the gavel. Remember the guy with the long beard at the gavel, and you're going to hell, you're going to heaven. No, this is all about self-will is respected. Where I'm going to be, whether I croak or not, is going to be dependent upon my spiritual condition, and how much DNA I have accreted, how much weeding I've done out of my own karma and my own you know, fears, resentments, and all that stuff. So, and I keep working on that because I want to assimilate my heightened levels, which I do get hits of, and I'd like to sustain those a lot more than I do. But I'm still processing stuff, and I want to be able to experience this elevated way of being here. And there's a lot of physical symptoms and mental symptoms that come with this changes that I've experienced, some amazing ones. It's not just because, I mean, sure, there's a sleep things where you want to sleep forever, like 14 hours, And then there's a time where you just can't sleep. You're buzzing. You're on a energetic, got like so much chi energy going. You just keep going. And you ever try to power sleep? How does that work? But anyway, and then one time, I don't know, a month and a half ago, I felt like my brain was made of wax or something. I've had some real strange stuff, like you think bugs are crawling on you and you're brushing them off, or ice picks, needles or something happening to your leg skin or things like that. This is on the website, thetempleofnow.com or familyoflightnews.com symptoms page. Vidya Fraser has you can either go to Vidya Fraser's work on YouTube or go through our site, which is the templeofnow.com site, and you get to Vidya has a great movie on symptoms, and the symptoms page also talks about not only struggle symptoms, but also great benefits of doing this work. To not be sucked into back down into 3D, but keep going forward. And one of the big challenges is taking the bait. So many people have great work. They're doing great work on whistleblowing, and you're seeing you're seeing all this, especially the political arena and around the world, the economic arena, and all that stuff. And if I'm focusing on that stuff, I'm not focusing on the new higher energies. You see, I'm getting sucked back into the drama, the dense polarity. And I have to be very careful of that, because I want to be of the new high vibration. So, but I've been on this planet for a while. I don't know, 400, I don't know, somebody, a machine told me 476 lifetimes. But I've been around here, and you have to be savvy physically, you got to be savvy mentally, and you got to be savvy spiritually on this planet. So I've had lifetimes with different degrees of success. So I want to be here for this transmutation to a higher reality that's presenting itself. And I want to make sure that I'm on the bandwagon. And I've been experiencing this stuff. And the reason I'm sharing it with you and tell you what we do on Sundays here is because, if you're aware at all, you might be hitting some bumps in the road. So check out Vidya's video on my site or on YouTube, Ascension Symptoms or Symptoms of 5D. She's got a half a dozen videos that are simple, and she's got a nice, laid back frequency about her, a nice frequency about her, as I see it, So they're nice. You don't have to be too really technical to watch them. You can be an ordinary real person and watch them. So if you know what I mean. So anyway, that's going to be enough of my rant today, and I want to thank you again for being with me here, and I'm sharing my heart with you, and you're sharing your heart with me, and when we come together, we get a synergism. 1 + 1 = more than 2, and I just wish you the very best, okay? And if you can drop me, comment as you see fit. Go to the website, and there's a way to contact us, and I wish you the very best, okay? I'm sending you a, what is this? Not an email hug, an MP4 hug. How's that? See you later. Bye-bye. Love you.